Welcome back, everyone. Episode 23 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. We are brought to you by JJD Podcast Consulting. Check them out at JJD Podcast Consulting on Instagram. And we're also sponsored by Fightback CBD. Get 15% off your CBD order. Here we are. At fightbackcbd.com with code JJD. Stay tuned to the end of the episode for the latest giveaways, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up or a like wherever you're listening to us, and definitely comment on each episode. We appreciate the feedback. We actually listen to you. We won't get rid of Junior, though, even though you guys have requested. I'm Milton.
You hurt my face, and we just started.
I'm Milton Campus. I am a blue belt. I train at Fight Sports Coral Springs when my knee is not hurt.
You're not a blue belt.
What did I say? A purple belt.
Yeah.
Did I say blue belt?
You did say blue belt.
Oh shit! Sorry. It's been that long. I might.
Wow.
I got demoted. I was going to say that for later. I am a purple belt.
Wow.
Out of Fight Sports Coral Springs. With me today are these knuckleheads, my co-hosts and roundtable members. I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead. Starting here. Name, rank, serial number. Go ahead.
Oh man, Miguel Lecarica.
What? Who?
Yeah, that's my last name.
God bless.
Yeah.
Bless you.
White belt, Fight Sports, Coral Springs.
Senior white belt.
Oh.
2 stripes.
Senior white belt.
Senior
2 stripes.
white
Just
belt.
got to his 2 stripes.
What belt I am? Mauricio, blue belt under Felipe Amarante in Fight Sports Coral Springs.
Hey, what's going on? It's Junior back for another episode. Black belch. That's another word, right? That gets said a lot. Belch. At Fight Sports Coral Springs. Felipe and Sofia Amarante.
Very cool, guys. Welcome back. Little drama here trying to get the configuration. This one little freaking TV threw off a lot.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because it throws off the way that we're shooting. But we've got some new equipment that we'll be using on the next couple episodes, so we won't worry about being so tight in the studio. So, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
We're doing good. Welcome back, brother.
Nice.
How are you?
Tired.
Yeah.
Yep.
You trained today?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jealous? You train?
Well,
You're not training yet, right?
No, not yet. My plan is to go back in August. I'm just glad to be here.
I'm very happy to be here.
I had to step up because they have Miguel here doing fake Brazilian accent. So we have to bring the real thing.
The real accent. Yeah. You definitely have one of the strongest accents there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
How about you, Junior? Have you trained?
No, man, I haven't trained. We were talking about this earlier. I haven't trained since like early March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you?
A little rusty. I've been working out.
Jiu-Jitsu, you doing other stuff?
Yeah,
I see you.
Yeah, doing some cardio.
I see you here and there, yeah.
Got a couple rounds in this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Some people are just up and bullshitting, doing nothing.
Not me.
Is that 5 minutes already?
What's that?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, no cursing for the first 5 minutes.
Man.
Just so
Does
you
that
know.
count? Does that count?
No cursing for the first 5 minutes. Okay.
I don't know,
Besides that,
we're good with the last episode, and I think somebody dropped an F-bomb, maybe me, in the first 5 minutes. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it you?
Probably.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna. I did my first jiu-jitsu related workout today. I did some upas, some bridging, and I did. What else did I say? I did.
You said you did
some
some
squats.
form of squats, yeah.
And I forgot what else I did. I did something else. Just kind of try and feel
That's
out the knee a
not
little
a pretty
bit.
sight.
Yeah.
Just let you guys know. Milton
What's that?
doing squats is not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
I've seen from weird angles. I'm telling you, it's not a pretty sight.
Listen.
Hey, Jiu-Jitsu after dark segment.
Yeah,
Let's leave that for
that's
some
a
other
whole nother
time.
segment, brother.
Yeah.
Just keep it
Let's
for
leave
later.
that
Save it for
segment.
later. Anybody watch Fight to Win last night?
Didn't
I
get a
couldn't.
chance.
No. I'm just look. I was never into or didn't really know like that whole tournament circuit. I mean, knew about Fight to Win, watch Coach fight, but I got Flow Grappling, and now it's like
It's all the time.
there is an image, and it says what does it say? Flow Grappling 24/7.
Really?
I mean, it is 24/7. I
Yeah.
mean, there's just
Kidding.
so much content that they're putting out. Yeah, so it's a whole new world.
How old is it? How far back is it?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm kind of just keeping up with like the new
Is it
stuff.
more than a week
Fight
out?
to Win, Third Course Grappling, the Kumites that they're doing.
Got one tonight.
The JitzKing and those events, and us being involved with their podcast now. So
That's cool.
Do they
Yeah, there's a
show
lot of
80?
shit.
Do they show ADCC content?
yes. As a matter of I haven't. Yes, yeah, because they're actually one of the. I accidentally just clicked on a video that was like the 2019 ADCC trials.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a ton.
There's also wrestling too,
highly
right?
recommend. It's everything. It's every sport because it's actually called the app is Flow Sports. Mm-hmm. So it's not just for Flow Grappling anymore, which I think was Flow Grappling the first.
I think it's just like Flow because there's Flow Wrestling, there's Flow Grappling.
Yeah. Well, everything's under Flow. The app is Flow Sports, and then it's gymnastics, volleyball, like the stuff that you're not going to get on ESPN or really anywhere else. You know, I was kind of saying before, like I feel like I'm watching kind of like the minor leagues, and I know that I'm going to see these guys in like the UFC later or ADCC. Right. So I'm having fun learning this world, and seeing these like these same names like Pedro Mourinho, who won the JitzKing event, is fighting in the Kumite with Third Coast Grappling tomorrow.
I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Did I say it wrong?
No, I just want to hear it. It's
Pedro Marinho. Oh. Did I say it right the second time?
Yeah, you got like 60%.
Sorry, Pedro. Pedro is going to be the first guest on the new JitzKing podcast that we're doing with the crew over
That's
at
awesome.
JitzKing. So
that's awesome.
We just got just kind of signed the release that
make sure you have me on a day so I can say his name correctly.
Yeah, no, there's not enough room. We can barely get 4 people in here. We can barely get us in here. I'm sweating trying to get everybody in here.
That's my whole function here. Just let you guys know. Like when he was thinking about the podcast, he goes like, okay, I need one black belt, I need one Brazilian, so.
I mean, well, I'm very much appreciate you coming today.
The accent. Yeah. We missed the accent.
I mean,
he needs the accent.
I appreciate. I'm glad you came in some shorts. You definitely look like you've been quarantining.
Brings validity to everything we're doing.
We got to stand you and Bo next to each other because he's got the darkest legs with the
shortest shorts.
With his short shorts. We got to at least take a picture of you later, and then you walk in with these stems.
When the Brazilian look like a ghost and the gringo has a nice tan, that's a problem, man. That's a glitch in the matrix right there.
You definitely look.
That's definitely a glitch in the matrix right there.
You definitely look like you've been quarantined. You finally get back to work though, right?
Yes, sir. Finally.
You're right.
Man, that was a good one. I love that one. That's a good one. You look like a pale. You look a little pale, man.
I am, man.
You need some sun, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I need it.
Back of the house, baby.
I need to get the Dorito tan, like Coach.
Yeah,
did I say that out loud?
Yeah, he's got a good tan.
Coach gives Junior a run for his money. He's got
man.
Junior's got that.
I'm in the pool every day, man.
The Dorito,
it's been hot. It's been hot.
10.
The AC hasn't broken over there. Train without some AC for a little bit.
It's turned up a little bit.
What's that?
They keep it at a decent temperature there.
Good.
What, in the gym?
Yeah, it's hot in there.
How many rounds you get in today?
1, 2.
Enough that he walked in here like a little limping, like you could tell something.
Okay. I got accidentally calf sliced.
Accidentally, he had to explain that to me. I don't know what that means. You want to explain?
They purposefully did it, but you accidentally got caught in it.
That's what I said. I said, like, did you accidentally like get yourself into it, or did that person do it and you're saying it was an accident because you did something wrong?
It's just, I don't know, just white belt things. I don't know. So
senior white belt.
Senior white belt.
2 stripes.
Yes. Go ahead. Tell us what happened.
This guy that started coming to the gym, he comes on and off. He lives in Alabama and trains at another gym.
Okay.
Like really technical, really sound, really good. He just wanted to practice a couple moves on me because we're the same size. So
hey, can I try something on you?
He's 10 years younger than I am.
Okay.
And he's probably like 3 more pounds than I am, and we're the same build.
Okay.
And he's strong.
Okay.
But
blue eyes, or that's Jiu-Jitsu After Dark.
Yeah.
We'll see that for later, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like, yeah.
Someone
when you look him in the eyes, it's like listening to the Beatles. So anyways, he's trying to do like a really fancy sweep from deep half where I have half, and he's trying to get past, and he ends up sweeping my leg over and ends up getting my back. And I go, hey, you know who's really good at this is Professor Sophia. She has a variation of this. So he's like, well, let me try my way first. And he did. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just rolled and rolled and rolled. And then I go, hey, Professor Sophia, can you show him that thing that you always do? And so she started teaching, and she did it on me a couple times. And then he had it a couple times. He's like, you know, I also do it from turtle, and it works pretty well. So then when he did it from turtle, like, I don't know what he did to my left calf, man, but it literally, like, my whole calf muscle, like, touched the back of my ankle. And it hurt so bad that I just laughed, like, so loud that everybody started laughing. And now I'm limping.
Did he whisper in your ear, I like your panties?
Yeah, probably. He could have said whatever he wanted, man. I was in pain.
My first coach used to, that was a joke, but he said that he used to say it, but we would all joke with each other if you got somebody like in an omoplata or you were trying to, he'd just come up to the ear and say, I like your panties.
Well, you're supposed to whisper in their ear when you get home.
So that's what happened to you.
I like your panties.
Now everything makes sense.
So were you facing up? Was it like a banana split or something?
No, it's literally just a pass that it's kind of berimbolo-ish, and they end up getting your back. They end up with back control.
Berimbolo-ish?
Yeah.
So it's not a full berimbolo?
It's not.
No, it's inverted.
Yeah, inverted black hole worm.
Junior coined a new move last episode.
The black hole worm guard.
The black hole worm guard. Yeah, that's
all
a
right.
tough one.
Let's get into let's talk about some jiu-jitsu. Let's give some advice from a bunch of guys that don't know anything.
Shoot some questions.
Right?
Yeah.
Shoot some questions.
Season.
Let's give our so I actually reposted somebody posted something about like new school versus old school jiu-jitsu. Did anybody see that? You might have commented on that. It was like the back of like a soldier's head, and it just said like, you know, which do you prefer? Which one's better, new school or old school jiu-jitsu? And then it got me thinking about, you know, there's like the people are saying like American jiu-jitsu versus Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Is there a difference? Is American just that is the same as new school and old school is Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I don't think I have enough experience for this one.
Anyone?
I can comment on that. I think they're more like that. Some schools in Brazil, they're more aggressive. You know, when they train, the way they train the students. You know, just like I was talking to these guys before. You know, like when you train Muay Thai here in the United States, and then you go to Thailand, and the people that are kicking banana trees over there. You know, so it's a whole different level. You know?
Okay. So which one do you think is the better level?
I don't think that's better. I think there is a different things that works for different people.
Okay.
Many people say, and like Jorge Grace's style is the old school jiu-jitsu, and he's a beast. And there's some other competitors there, all new school jiu-jitsu, and they're also beasts. So I don't think there is one that is better than the other.
Junior? Opinion?
I think it's tough. The newer jiu-jitsu is more technical, right? Old jiu-jitsu, like I was watching Gordon Ryan break down a move, and he gets scientific just like Danaher does in breaking down his move. So he's like, when a leg does this, I think there's a lot more technicality to the moves now.
To what you would call new school,
yeah,
or
to the
American
old school
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, old school jiu-jitsu, it doesn't include a lot of moves. Think about it. It's basic,
it's
right?
very
Get
simple.
the person to the ground and get them in an advantageous position. That's it. Not try to, wrist lock them or grab their arm and swing it around your head and do any crazy stuff.
You know, it's funny because on the Fight to Win last night, Fight to Win 145, hopefully I say his name right, Xande Ribeiro.
Xande Ribeiro.
He won his match with an armbar. And he's an old school guy. He was out for 2 years. He had some injuries. He fought last night. He fought like young up and comer. Like he went in saying, I'll take anybody. Fought a guy that's like new school. Gets him in an old school armbar. So I think that the argument that was happening online, I guess don't call it an argument, a discussion.
How long was the match? Was it a long match?
A couple minutes.
Okay.
It didn't go too long. And then and let's also mention that then Gary Tonin fought right before that, and he was just searching for heel hooks. It was just the way he enters. He's going for your feet. He's going for your foot. Period. That was it the whole time, and he wins his match. Same thing, younger, new school type of guy. Well, Gary's getting a little bit older, but he's considered like the new school, Danaher Death Squad guy.
Yeah.
I think there was I just remember there being a little bit of talk over like people starting to call it American Jiu-Jitsu because they're just like, it's not that Brazilian style anymore. Would it bother anybody if they started calling it American Jiu-Jitsu?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Said the Brazilian. I forget. There's a UFC fighter. I forget his name. Hopefully, I'll remember it. And like his style was listed as
joking,
American Jiu-Jitsu. his style was listed, like when he would come out to his UFC fights. I remember his shirts, like the swag that he put out for his gym would say American Jiu-Jitsu. And I didn't know if there was like a sore spot there. Like it's not that anymore. We've changed it enough that it's something new. No, am I just way out in left field here? Is it? Is nobody seeing that? Like there are these discussions, kind of, that wind up happening.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I think if they change the game to something completely different and and innovate it, maybe just the same thing Brazilians did with the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and then they created the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't see why some other country or culture can do the same.
Okay.
I think it'll just be called just jiu-jitsu across the board.
True.
I mean, there's a reason why I just called it, not
as
Brazilian
opposed to it
Jiu-Jitsu
being,
Dummies.
I think that's the roots. Can't forget where it came from, but I think it'll just end up being jiu-jitsu.
I have
the
no
board.
problems with American style or Brazilian style, but it'd be American style Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, like,
I don't think it varies. I think
styles.
I still think it's the same thing. It's based off foundational moves,
right?
Which goes down to understanding, old school jiu-jitsu. You really got to understand the basics before you start getting into the complicated stuff.
The bread and butter come first,
Yeah, you have to know how to, your prior perception, where in space is your body. That's something that you're learning very young, right?
Yeah.
But with mounts, with guard pulls, with knee on belly, right? You get all this control of your body. And then what ends up happening, then you can spin into some crazy move, right? Some new school move.
Okay. I'm just trying to tell you, even when you're talking to him, you got Mike. When you go this way, you hear the way it comes out.
I'm a dummy.
All right. So let's kind of take this a step further. So I'm always curious. I know what I hear when people find out that I do jiu-jitsu. What are some of the kind of weird things that you guys hear? Or what do people say when, what's the reaction when you tell somebody you do jiu-jitsu?
Well, my mom thinks it's crazy.
Karate chops.
Yeah. She doesn't even say it right. Está haciendo Jiu-Jitsu. I'm like, yes, Mom, I'm still doing that. My wife knows that it's good for my peace of mind. Mm-hmm. I have a coworker that actually just started training. He got recommended to a gym by Professor Felipe. So he's in RBJJ.
How's he doing over there? He's getting butt kicked away.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. He got the bug already.
The one in Coral Springs?
No, he's further north. He's like in Delray.
Oh, because
shout out to your buddy. Shout out to your buddy, man.
Yeah.
What's his name? Put you on the spot. My bad.
No, it's good. His name's Brandon. He's a cool dude.
What up, Brandon?
Yeah.
Get Brandon to watch the show, man. Maybe he'll learn.
He does watch the show. He watched it. Yeah. And he said he enjoyed it. Yeah. But yeah, so I talked to him about it, during lunch at work, and he's like, you know what, I've always wanted to try it, and I was like, just go try it.
Isn't it awesome when somebody at work? So I had a guy that was training at work, and I was like, I get to finally talk. Meanwhile, I'm walking around with my Jiu-Jitsu Dummy mug. I have my hat, my shirt.
Yeah. Bro, I work with Ricardo, and I would talk about jiu-jitsu, like the whole shit.
Do you guys work together?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
For some time.
Like right now that you work together?
No.
Oh, you have worked together.
Like 6-7 months ago.
He's in the restaurant biz?
Yes. Okay. So I got like a part-time job, and make a long story short, and all we did was talking about jiu-jitsu, and to the point that people are getting mad. Like, you guys always talking about it. Duh. What else to talk about?
Yeah.
Work. I was like, okay.
Jiu-jitsu is all consuming.
There's a lot to talk about.
There you go. Here we
are. I could pick your brain. Like, what move were you working on? Were you working on a move?
It's just in general. Yeah, I'm always working towards something, but it's like I said before, everybody's got a story, right? And then like you end that story at the end of that day, and it's like, okay, I've tried to do this move, and they had an answer for it, and then you try and get a rebuttal to that, and then you continue the story with that person, so on and so forth, and that really just gets you. Like, I don't know, it just intrigues my mind because, like, I'm really competitive. Like, I'm the type of dude, like...
So what were you going for? What move were you going for? Anything specific?
I've been really just working on just getting into half, actually. Like, purposely pulling guard, getting into half to get the sweep, to get a head and arm. Like, that's really the system that I just really want to go towards because it works really well for my body type. Because I'm long.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
But there's so many different variations there.
There is.
So that you should learn how to attack to get to where you want to end up, right? So, hey, I'm going here, but on the way there, hey, maybe I'll make a pit stop here.
Right.
Maybe I'll come up around his back.
Yeah.
And then I'll try for another sweep. Or I can do a push-pull, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to get those different techniques worked into your system.
Yeah. It's true.
But I think those things just kind of float to the top. Like they happen. Like again, when I'm trying to learn something or trying to perfect something,
It happenstance.
like
I don't
just
rely on that
trying
stuff.
to perfect that, those things want, oh shit, look at that. I didn't know that was there. And then you start seeing all these little things along the way.
Well, I think
I think it just what you just said just
Yeah.
kind of happens when you try to work on something.
No, I don't think so.
Not for you?
No, I think that I need to look at the schematic of the move, right? So where can this move go? What can I specifically do with it? Because if I'm just waiting for stuff to pop up, I think that's just,
You're not attacking.
no. I need to know where I'm going. I need to know what options I have.
I feel you.
So
Yeah.
if I know that I want to end up in a head and arm choke, right? I know that if I pull half, there's a lot of different things you can do there, right? You can do, what are you doing, a butterfly sweep?
No, I've been doing the lockdown sweep series.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so man, there's so many great moves right there. But here's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Since everybody's doing it, it's going to become
Everybody
you're going
learns
to get
the
tired of it.
defense.
So what you
Yeah.
should do, again, just saying, this is junior theory here, is work on something totally different.
And you know what? I do. So like, in jiu-jitsu, like you could have a plan and that plan is getting completally smushed.
Yeah, and they come
Right.
Milton and put his knee on top of your chest.
But
Boom.
but you know what? The thing is, what you just explained and what I explained is, I'm not doing that with coach. I'm not doing that with a belt that's above me, and I'm not doing that with somebody who's close to my level. I'm doing that on the white belt. I'm doing that on I'm gonna say, okay, I know where I'm gonna
Fair
wind
enough.
up because I know how I can manipulate this
Right.
person, manipulate their body. So that's when I'm playing with those things. But that feeds the game, with the more experienced guys and the
Yeah.
coaches and things like that. So you got to kind of,
Yeah.
who am I going to do that with? You're not doing that. I'm sorry, but you're not doing that with Junior.
I'm
Or
trying.
me. No, to say like, okay, I'm going to practice this move today because it's just,
Yeah.
it's like the Mike Tyson thing. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Right.
But you can have that plan and stick to that plan when it's a less experienced person because you can kind of goat them into where you want them to be.
Yeah. So like with the higher belts, what I've noticed, because I am getting a chance to roll with blue belts and then some other white belts, and we've been having some guests from other gyms come.
Okay.
And but with the higher belts, we've been training that half guard and that lockdown series. So, but there's so many variations from it that sometimes they know that I'm going for it and I'll bait them, and then it's just scooping them over your head and then coming out of the back, and now you do a cow tip.
That's the option that you have.
Right, exactly. So now the next time they're like, man, is he going to do the cow tip thing or is he going to do the lockdown
Exactly.
thing? So it's just keeping them in a state of confusion.
But you have to know your options.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta fill that bucket. I mean,
Yeah.
you come in there with an empty bucket, and then you just start learning.
I agree with what you're saying, Milton. I think that once you have enough experience, right, if you understand the foundation of moves, then you can start, trying to make stuff up. Where do I go from here?
Innovating. That's
Yeah.
when you go to YouTube.
Yeah. All right, what else you got over there?
All right, so along those same lines, the American Jiu-Jitsu thing, let's kind of go back to, again, this is, it seems so weird when people have that whole Jiu-Jitsu doesn't work, right? You've either seen a post or you've heard something. Jiu-Jitsu is not going to work in a street fight. Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to pull guard in a street fight, but that's making the assumption that person doesn't know how to handle themselves on their feet, or they don't have the judo aspects of, like people just think that it's just, jiu-jitsu is just the rolling around the floor. They don't understand the throws, or hey, I could take you down, and once I get you down and I'm in an advantageous position, that's when my skill's going to come into play.
People say this to me all the time. There's this misconception that when they think we can't punch and kick. Like a jiu-jitsu fighter can punch and kick just like anybody else. The jiu-jitsu is just a complement. They take you to the ground, you know what to do. But in the end of the day, there is no, IBJJF on the streets. You can still punch and kick just like anybody else.
Yeah, I think that the kids that are coming up after us are going to, it is the martial art they're learning is MMA for a lot of the kids.
Yeah.
Right? You know, yes, mixed martial art. They are absolutely learning the art of MMA. Does that make sense?
No,
right?
yeah,
you know,
they are.
They're going in and
There's
and
MMA gyms now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more. I guess this, like, okay, we're at a gym. We're pretty much just doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I mean, not pretty much. We're just doing jiu-jitsu.
Just jiu-jitsu, yeah.
You know, that you can get into the conversation about, okay, is this self-defense jiu-jitsu? Is it more point fighting? Is it more like tournament-style jiu-jitsu? But I think there are a lot of gyms out there that are doing everything. Now, we can kind of fast forward and say, you know, the mom that doesn't want to see her kid get hit in the face but might be okay with jiu-jitsu, right? We had that comment. He's actually a podcast patron. I have his question here. Wolseley Rivera on YouTube, and you commented. He was saying, I want my kids to do jiu-jitsu, but my wife isn't liking the idea. How do I talk her? How do I talk to her and convince her that it's good for them in the long run? And then you pop back with the question like, well, why is she? We didn't get an answer from him, but you said,
yeah, why is she apprehensive?
Why is she apprehensive?
Yeah.
Let's make the assumption that she's apprehensive, that she doesn't necessarily really understand it and think that they're going to be, you know, kind of fist fighting. What advice would you give him to, you know, kind of approach the wife?
He didn't say the age of his kids or if they were boys or girls.
I think that they're smaller kids. He's a young guy.
Okay.
He's young.
I think where I was going with that was her level of education as to what the sport is and why is she apprehensive about it. Is it because kids are going to have close contact? Is it because
COVID? Is it kind of like a COVID thing right now, or is it more like she just doesn't want them?
Yeah. So, you know, but at the same time,
sport.
At the same time, I think kids need to be well-rounded. If we don't get our kids enough education on self-defense, or knowing that that's part of life, working out, staying active, that's part of life, right? A lot of kids don't fall into that. They fall into, hey, I'll just watch some TV, right? But that's part of life. What don't you like about that? That it's hard work, that they're going to get tired. So what?
Have she watch a class and see what is
what I was saying.
Yeah.
When you started your son in jiu-jitsu, was there any pushback from your wife?
No, not really, because he never been into sports, you know, like you know, soccer or basketball, whatever. And in jiu-jitsu was like a miracle, you know.
Whose idea? Your idea? His idea? Hey, Dad, I want to look at this.
I started a month before him.
Okay.
He was in Brazil on vacation, you know, with my wife, and I decided to start training, you know, and he started a month after.
Okay.
We've been training
Was
since.
it more like, well, Daddy's doing it, so I want to do it, or it was like, Daddy's doing it, so you're gonna do it? Was it him or you?
It was more like Dad is doing, so I'm gonna do it, you know.
Okay.
I never force him to do it. I never, you know, I think it works the other way. If you're trying to force them to do something, once he becomes a teenager, you know, it's like, I'm not going to do this anymore, you know. So I never really force him to do it. I just kind of try to show it to him, you know, how fun it is, you know, and he loved it, you know.
You know, I think a big part of that, too, is jiu-jitsu, especially for young kids, is very time-consuming for a parent. Because you have to pretty much give up 3 hours. Right, so you have to fit those 3 hours into your schedule.
If you're gonna sit and wait,
That's
not all
what I'm
parents
saying.
do. I mean, we're in a school where they drop them off.
If they're young kids, right? So even if it's you know, under 7-year-old, right, or even younger than 5,
you're probably gonna stay.
Their attention span's probably 30 minutes, so you can't deal with those kids for an hour because it's not going to work, right? So now you have to wait just 30 minutes, so you can't go anywhere. But is that the only option? What about? If they're girls, what about dance? What about ballet? If they're boys, what about football, basketball, right? So is there other options that they can be doing?
Well, Miguel, we talked about your daughter doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
What was that conversation like with your wife? Whose choice was it? Tell us.
A little bit of Junior's mentality. My daughter was doing dance before.
Okay.
And she was doing ballet, tap, and jazz. And then she just said, I don't want to do that anymore. And I go, okay, but you have to do something. And I'm always.
Now, were you already doing jiu-jitsu?
No,
or did
no.
She start
Actually, she
first?
started before I did.
Okay,
and then I was just like, let's put her in a martial art. I just wanted her to keep being active. If she's not going to choose something, I'll choose something for her.
And what was your wife's? I
mean, we had a discussion, and she started looking at schools, and she called different schools, and actually, fight sports Coral Springs was really the first ones to respond and actually like say, hey, you come, it'll be a week.
Plug your gym.
Yeah, plug your gym, wear the shirt. But anyways, it's a week. It's free. They provide the gi, and they talk to you separately, and they almost even coach you on how to be a jiu-jitsu parent a little bit. They're just like, listen, just let us do the work. You just sit there and watch.
I actually had in my first school, and again, as a white belt, I was helping the coach out, and I had a parent who like wanted to be on this. The son was probably not ready for it, a little hyper, and he was maybe like 4. Mm-hmm. And he like came on the mat. I was trying to tell him like you could stay over there. We've got this. And he wanted to like he would come on the mat, take off his shoes, come on the mat, and be like, "Come on," and like hold him and like
really,
yeah. We were like, yeah, this isn't gonna. It doesn't work like that. You have to disappear, like be in the front. And the way that gym was, it was like just a doorway. It was walled off, so you could he would only be able to see the parent if they stood in that doorway. Yeah. So, but yeah, it doesn't work like that. You have to like let them do their thing.
And I tried coaching my daughter, like obviously not on the mat, like after, and then I very shortly realized that was a bad move. Yeah. Me talking to her, I was like, hey, honey, try and get a takedown. I'll show you some double legs at home and stuff like that. No. And nope, that's not a good move because now she's like looking at me, and if she fails at getting it, she feels like, oh, I just let my dad down, and it's like, that's not the point of the thing. The point of the thing is she's supposed to go out there and go have fun. So we've gone through the whole full arc, and once she gets back from vacation, she's going to get started again, and we already have a deal. Like, she's going to go a couple days a week, and only those days that she picks, because she has a friend there that goes those days. Okay. And
so are you in a place with your daughter where you're making her go? Or does she want to go? Does she want to be there? Now you just said the friend thing. So.
Yeah, well, she's hard to get there, but once she's there, she's fine. It's one of those things. Yeah, but that's just my daughter's personality.
Yeah, my daughter was like that with soccer.
You're not having fun, so you're already there.
Yeah,
kicking and screaming the whole way there, and then you don't want to go home.
Exactly.
Get your ass in the car.
Yeah. Well, get your ass in the car. Where Cooper's already like, he's like, when I come home, we're going.
Is it time for him? Is he going to start?
Oh yeah. He's super ready. Yeah.
So Junior, you had your daughter.
I did.
In jiu-jitsu way back.
Did.
What's the story there? Like, I mean, she stopped. Was it her choice? Whose choice was it to go, and whose choice was it to stop?
So when I started, I could bring my girls, and they would just sit on the mat and watch, right? And they just got the bug.
And this is with Sophia.
No, this is with Pablo and George Popovich.
That's right.
Yeah, at their gym. I just bring them, and they sit there. They were pretty good because they would just sit there. They really wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't be running around. They would just sit there and watch until they caught the bug. But then, like I said, it became difficult because, whatever the time frame was, right? And maybe if I wasn't training.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. So that can be a problem.
So did you make them start doing it too, or did they? Well, you're saying
they like caught an interest.
They caught the bug.
Kids will gravitate to what they see their parents doing, right? So, stupid example: if you work out in front of your child every day, guess what?
They're coming over. They're going to pick up the weight.
That's so true.
You gotta start doing yoga.
FOMO.
You start doing yoga, or you're stretching, right?
They do it.
They're gonna start doing it, right? So it's our responsibility to be there for them, right? So we need to teach them those, even little stupid things like, hey, if you don't teach this kid how to run right, guess what? He's gonna fall every time. Will he figure it out on his own? Sure, but let's help him out a little bit. Hey, let's start jumping. Let's start running. Yeah, all these little silly things.
And then you said kids, your daughters.
My daughters,
did they both
5
do
years.
jiu-jitsu?
They did it together. Yeah, they're 5 years apart. So.
And then why'd they stop?
I think especially for the girls, I think if there's an absence of time between their training and they have a spurt, a growth spurt, then they're probably like, nah, I don't think I want to go back.
Okay.
Maybe like let's say they were off for a year. Right. And then they're like, no, I don't really want to go anymore. That's not my thing.
I think that's with any kid, but I understand like I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
So I understand like girls developing, and this is I always call it an intimate sport. You're hitting each other and touching and things happen. And, I haven't had a child that was in jiu-jitsu when they're in that, they're developing, and then there are boys that they have to fight with. Is that what you're saying? when you're talking about the development or that.
Yeah, I think young teenagers. How about that?
Okay.
How about young teenagers?
Okay, yeah.
Right. So then it could be a problem.
I don't want
that boy touching me, or I don't want to do that, or
I don't want to get bruises and then go to school the next day.
Or they're self-conscious about whatever. But I think again, the younger we get kids into a sport, doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu, but a sport, then they can get comfortable doing certain things that are going to benefit them in the long run, health-wise.
Gotcha.
Right?
So let's just do a quick shout out to We Defy. We want to thank We Defy Foundation for their support and all they do for veterans.
Hey,
We Defy.
Perfect timing. Look at me. For those of you who don't know what they do, they provide therapeutic relief to disabled combat veterans through jiu-jitsu. You can check them out on Instagram at We Defy Foundation. You can also donate anytime at wedefyfoundation.org. Junior and I were talking about the Zoom on the last episode.
Yeah, that was great.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun. We're going to be doing another Zoom roundtable. And the way that you can get a seat at that table or get the link for that Zoom is either you're a podcast patron of ours or our podcast patron, or when they make the announcement, you can donate as little as $5 prior to the day of the Zoom. And you can you'll get an email
access
with a link.
To it, yeah.
You'll get a link with access. And, it was really cool. And they've got to be, I still don't want to give out the name yet, but I just got a text from TJ Kreitzer,
awesome,
who handles all the ambassadors, right? He works with guys like us that are ambassadors, and he's putting me together with that person. I didn't get a text back, so I don't want to say the name yet. Good. But as soon as he reaches out to me and I hear that he's solid, we'll announce it. And again, it's either be a podcast patron to get access for no additional donation, but obviously they would love a donation if you'd like to give, you can.
Well, yeah. Hey, listen, we got plenty of time too from now through Veterans Day. So if people are interested in doing something for We Defy, being a part of We Defy, or doing something for the local veterans, whether it's military, law enforcement, first responders.
And we mean to do a seminar or something.
Get with your gym. Get with your gym.
You're down to do a seminar, right? If we got a request.
As little as I can teach. Did you really?
In that same,
where are we going?
In the same thread.
Oh,
where
I did see that.
Was
I do
asking
remember
about
that.
the kids' jiu-jitsu. Somebody said, "Would you guys come out to Seattle?"
Yeah.
And I asked,
I remember
where?
you commented.
Yeah, where? Like, I don't want to just say but where? And just now, given this whole, I know eyes are going to start rolling. This whole second COVID wave, there you go.
No, I'm not saying anything. I say we could wait, but
listen, it's something
put them
that
at the top of the list, man.
I would, me personally, if I'm not going to go as a purple belt, I don't feel like I'm ready to run a seminar. But if you were doing it, I would absolutely go with you. Again, I said this last episode. I'll be the dummy. And you run a class or you run a nice seminar, and we do it for the benefit of We Defy. And I'm sure there's some ambassadors locally. Maybe there's some of the bigger names. We can lend our name and to that seminar. And
don't shortchange yourself, my friend. Don't shortchange yourself.
What do you
listen? I think we all have specific moves, right?
Yeah.
That we make our own. And that's the point of a seminar.
Yeah.
Teach somebody something that that could potentially help their game.
Yeah.
Because remember, I think Felipe told me he went to Henzo seminar. He's like, I learned something.
Yeah.
Felipe's been a black belt for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So imagine that, right? So it doesn't matter who you are. You could probably teach somebody. So
I appreciate
Abu Ghraib. We could do a tour.
I was just going to say, Abu Ghraib. I was just going to to say it. I'll teach the Abu Ghraib in.
There you go.
I got plenty of t-shirts. I'll just bring a bucket and wet my t-shirt beforehand.
That's it. This is what you got to do.
You got to do cardio.
Triple XL t-shirt.
So again, big shout out to We Defy. Yes, we would do seminars.
Veterans Day open mat. That's what I was getting at. I think you cut me off. Veterans Day open mat, right?
When's Veterans Day? What day is
September sometime.
September.
I'm not sure.
Depending on what is going on with COVID, where we are, I would definitely be down to travel.
Yeah. While people are hosting seminars.
If things are a little weird and the gyms are open, but things are still a little strange, I would prefer not to travel. Again, I have the heart condition, so I feel healthy. I feel great, but I'm not going to I have to do what's smart for me and my family, and I don't want to kill.
What if we
put way too much into this Jiu-Jitsu Dummies to drop dead from COVID?
Let's do a couple techniques. And put them out to the Patreon.
Once we move, we move, and we have a larger studio, we are absolutely going to have a place where we
can
mats.
Film. You getting some good mats?
We're gonna have mats. We're gonna have
my man.
Yeah, we are going to be able to film.
Can I put a request in?
Yeah, sure.
Cooler monsters.
Lots of it.
What's
Yeah.
that? Oh,
Lots
yeah.
of it.
Oh, hey, listen, sponsors.
Yeah, man. Bring
Hit
it
them up. Hey, hit us up.
So yeah,
Sponsorships.
I when we have more space, you know, if you've listened to the podcast, you know that we're filming in my house. When we move to the new space, we'll have either a bigger room and/or we're going to take over the garage. My wife's already given me permission, so we'll have a place where we can do not only the podcast, but we can actually do some videos and do some cool stuff. So definitely excited about that. So again, big shout out to WeDefy. Let's jump into another listener question. This is a good one here. So this is from Jesse Amos on Facebook. All right. So he says, I'm a white belt. I have a couple of stripes, but I was wondering when you think we should develop our style, quote unquote. All right. I know I have a long and beautiful road ahead of me. I love the sport, but I feel as though I'm just mediocre at a couple of things. I always see the other guys in class, and then he puts in parentheses, I try not to compare myself to anyone. This is my own journey. But he says, I always see other guys who have their own jiu-jitsu style or personality. I was wondering when that would start to develop for me. Second, what sort of stretching programs do you recommend? I have a few health issues, but I never feel flexible enough, loose enough, or light enough, so to speak. I already do yoga every day, but I'm looking for something extra. Thanks, guys. Love the podcast. So the first part of that is developing a style. Who wants to take that one?
I still don't have mine. And,
Okay.
and I've been training for 3.5 years, and I still don't have mine. Some people saying that usually happens around purple. I heard that a lot of people saying that usually happens around purple. So I'm still waiting for that, moment to boom,
Junior?
I think a lot of it comes with time on the mat, right? The more time that you're on the mat, the easier it is for those moves to become second nature, and that's what you really want. And once you have that foundation, right, of all the basics, right, of the 5 basics, then you can start growing on that. It's kind of like, and I'll relate it to shooting a gun, right? If you can do enough draws out of the holster that it's just, muscle memory, or that those neural pathways are developed, then you can worry about something else, right?
What about what you said the last episode? You said something about not everything works for everybody.
Sure.
For example, people with the shorter legs not going to be doing triangles.
Sure.
So do you think that has something to do with the style? Would someone develop a particular style?
Well, let me get back to the question, and I'll add to what you're saying. White belt, right? So you're brand new, right?
You're learning how
a
to tap.
freshman. You're a freshman. You have no idea what's going on, right? You're just gonna figure your way out of the situation, whatever it might be, right? Think about being in high school, right? You're a freshman. You don't know anybody, right? You're just trying to figure everything out, where your schedule is, where your classes are, right?
Who's the
blue
bullies?
belt?
Yeah, where the
Blue
bullies
belt.
hang out.
Yeah, who's the bullies?
What hallway to avoid?
Once you get promoted to blue belt, hey, now you have a good understanding of the basics, right? So let's start growing on that. So that's where drilling becomes such a big part of what you need to do. Drill your moves, right? So I think that's one of the problems of American jiu-jitsu, right? At least what I see. People just want to roll. Hey, let's drill a couple moves first, right? Let's warm up. Right? Range of motion. So to add to his question, range of motion, right? There's apps for that, range of motion. Just go through that. Additional to your yoga. I don't stretch. I probably should stretch a lot more. Right. And then your question was, what do you...
No, because I think that the type of jiu-jitsu that works for you will have a lot to do on your style. I'm not going to be a triangle master if I don't have the long legs for,
No, that's true, but you never know.
I did. You know what? I
You
disagree
can hit
with
that
that.
move.
We're going to come back to that. But go ahead.
I think you can still hit that move. I don't hit that move often. I know when it works for me. I know when I can do it. I know when I can't do it. So I can't just omit it from my...
But you don't consider yourself a triangle person. That's not like your style. What I meant to say is like, the type of game that works for you will change your style over time, I believe.
The game picks you, my friend.
Maybe you're not so flexible.
And that's going to be my answer here.
The game picks you.
This question,
True.
Take out what he said about developing a style, and this would be like if you woke up in the morning, you're a teenager, you woke up in the morning and you said on the way to, like you're thinking in your mind, when I go to school today, I'm going to be the funny guy. Or I'm going to be choosing what you're going to be.
Yeah, that's
you can't
weird.
do that. There's no way to choose your style. The style chooses you. I never did I laid on a guy's face in my first tournament, and that North-South found me, and now I'm where I'm strongest.
With that being said,
I wound up in the move not because it was my thing.
But if you work a certain move, for example, right, I'll give you a move that a lot of people don't work. Turtle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
True.
So what do most people go on a turtle to do? To defend.
Yep.
People don't go on a turtle to attack. Right? So there's specific moves just for that. Attacking from the turtle.
But you could say that you want to do that, and then it doesn't work for you, but you find something else. The move finds you. The style finds you.
But I'm still going to
You're
practice.
never going to file this. Yeah,
you got to practice. And again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
But you're
and
never,
even when
you're
you
never
know
gonna
it,
go, you're not going to go and just be. Oh, you don't just wake up in the morning and decide to be this style of this. I'm going to be the funny guy. I'm going to be the jock. It doesn't work like that. When
it happens
try,
over time.
It's contrived. It feels like you're trying to do something and you may not get good at it. The answer here, well, again, my opinion, the answer here is. The style will find you. Just keep on showing up. And I love what you always say. Just do the basics.
Yeah.
Because everything comes from those basics.
The bread and butter.
The weird, oh shit, why? Oh, my leg, when my leg goes there, I could do that. So let's talk about the triangle. Now, my first coach, maybe 265, short guy. A little bit taller than you, shorter than me. And anytime somebody told him.
calling me short?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, you're short.
say a little bit.
You're short.
Like, why are you using him as an
You're
example?
short. What do you like? I can put you in my pocket, bro.
Wow.
Come here, jump in. Here, come here. Hop in.
Jiu-Jitsu Dummies after that. Continue.
Unbelievable.
Okay, wait. So he was a smaller guy, and anytime somebody would say, "Oh, I can't. I'm too short to do that triangle," he would say, "Come here." And it's yes, you're too short if you're doing the triangle from the front. You're not supposed to do it from the front. Everybody knows Felipe's triangle. Where is he? He's all the way on that angle. That leg that's cutting, that's up against the neck is coming from the side. It's not about the length, how long you are. So yes, if you're doing it from the front, which you can do a triangle from the front. Yes, if you have short legs, it's not going to work. But all you have to do is make that little adjustment. Go to, if they're at 12, you're at 45 or 15, whatever, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, but maybe that's not so easy for you to do it because of your body,
Maybe you talk about injuries or limitations. Or
limitations. Like if it's something, it gives me a certain level of difficulty to do it. It's more. It's.
Well, hey, you can do like our friend from Weedify, right? Just cut.
Be careful what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong. But if you have physical impairments and this is something that you want to do, if you listen to was that our jiu-jitsu?
That was the Zoom.
That was a Zoom interview. Hey, he ended up removing a portion of his leg. Now, I'm not saying...
an already amputated leg.
Right? Yeah. So I'm not saying go do anything crazy. But you might need to do surgery if you want to continue jiu-jitsu and it worked for you, right? So if you have, people break their wrists and they get...
I interrupted you because I think you're about to tell Mauricio to cut his arm off or cut a leg off.
No.
I thought you were going down a really weird path, and I was like, whoa... What are you about to say?
No. I wouldn't go that crazy.
No, it is an amazing story of him. He's an amputee,
sure.
and because the length of his amputation was getting in the way of his jiu-jitsu, he felt like he could do better. He actually went and had some of his leg taken off, I believe, right? So,
and even look at limitations, right? We have high-level coral belts, right, that have limitations.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call them limitations, right? I would say imperfections. How about that? Because is it really a limitation if you're a coral belt and your hand is a little messed up?
No, but he developed his style. You're talking about Machado.
Yeah.
Higan Machado, right?
No. Or Jean-Jacques Machado.
Jean-Jacques has the...
Yeah. Think about that. So if you have an issue, it's hindering you, then you have to work around it or get it fixed, right? Surgery. If you tear your ACL, you got to get surgery.
Going back, just the limitation of the length of your body. I'm not a triangle. I get that again. But my coach would he'd say, come here, let me show you. Because he was shorter. And he would, it's this angle. Look, turn here. And coach would tell you the same thing. If you told them like, oh, I'm too short. Boom. You're on the side. You do not need long legs to grab, somebody's arm and their neck. So, it just doesn't have to happen that way. So anyway, you kind of both said the same thing about, I'm not a triangle guy. Did you say?
I've always said that.
Yeah, I know you say it all the time, but yeah, it's that angle. So, okay. Anyway, so the first part of his question was the whole style thing, right? I think it's don't worry, the style's going to find you.
Yeah.
Don't look for it. Stop looking for it. The second you stop looking for it, it will find you.
But if you're looking at a time frame, I'd say close to purple belt.
I mean, it's like, well, then you're not a teenager, quote unquote, anymore, right? You're a purple belt. Now you're an adult in this world, and that's when you can start to say, I want to do this, or I like this more. I'm going to do this. But from white to blue, white through purple, you've got to learn everything, and then the style will find you. The thing that you are good at will find you, and it might surprise you what you wind up being good at.
Now, with that being said, there are white belts, there are blue belts that are phenoms that can figure a move out and do that move and attack that move, and you get caught by it. So
I love like the geeky techie guy that comes into jiu-jitsu, because it's such a cerebral sport that those guys do so well, because like you see a guy that's like me, tall and skinny, and you completely you'd never believe or even think that you wouldn't say, if you had to look at him and say what sport he did, you probably wouldn't say jiu-jitsu or any type of martial art. And then you roll with that guy and they're so technical, and it's very interesting to me when I see those guys. It's like, these guys are so analytical. This is a perfect sport for them. So the second part of his question was stretching programs. He's already, I would say yoga. I said yoga up until I read where he says he does yoga every day. Any recommendations on stretching programs?
I looked up a lot of stuff for hips, loosening up hips, because I find that my hips being tight in jiu-jitsu is what hinders me from recovering guard mainly.
I think it's extremely common in this world, especially a little bit older, north of 35. How old are you?
36.
30, yeah.
Yep.
35 and above. I mean, things just start to go.
But it's putting in the reps. Like he said, I make it a point now that when I'm done rolling and I go home, I'll sit down in front of the television and I'll stretch and just like watch something or mess around on my phone. But just stretch.
I think that's the best advice. Not necessarily a different stretching program, but stretching before and after.
Yeah.
Stretching before and after is going to take your jiu-jitsu further, and you're already doing yoga. I mean, yoga is covers so many, aspects of stretching.
I will say that doing the same thing all the time is not good. You want to confuse your body. So like I do different stretches, and then once I start getting good at a stretch, it's like, okay, now I'm going to do a different variation of it.
That was the whole thing between. Anybody ever do the P90X videos?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
That was the whole thing. Muscle confusion.
Yeah,
it's like it was every day you did a different video. You're not doing the same thing 2 days in a row because you're throwing a curveball at your body or at that muscle. Right.
I feel it works.
The yoga teacher used to say, like, if it's getting too comfortable, you need to change. You're not supposed to feel comfortable when you're doing stretching or yoga. If it's getting to a point that is very comfortable for you to do it, that's when you need to change, increase the game a little. But my question is, what is his goal in here? Is he just trying to, stretch so he doesn't get injured, or he's trying to be like a pro, like can turn himself into a pretzel? What is his goal? Because I do my stretches in the morning before work. I usually wake up in the morning. I do my stretchings. A little bit of exercise, and then I go to work, and that's okay for me. That's good enough for me. So it comes to the question, like, what is he trying to achieve by doing that?
And I'm guilty of saying that I'm going to do something and not doing it, because I've been wanting to stretch for a long time.
I think there was a couple of us that, Andres, I had heard it on Rogan talking about it, and then just coincidentally went to the gym, and Andres was like, he was always stretching after.
Always.
But it came up, and I was like, I just heard that on Rogan, and I'm not doing it. And I got to do that. So I definitely stretch before I leave. I have to stretch in order for me to even, because sometimes I get over there, and we might get right to rolling quick, or get into some moves real quick, depending on the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, man, I didn't stretch. And as soon as I get there, my back and my neck is hurting. So I take care of that here, and then... I definitely try to stretch a little bit when I get back. Is that my mic getting weird? Does it sound good to you?
No, it sounds scratchy.
I sound scratchy. Yeah, I don't know. All of a sudden, hey, Bill, you want to look at that?
Basha, that's right. So where does belch come from? Why belch?
Your mic is.
I don't know, man.
How do you say LT belt? Belt.
Hey.
What are you pronouncing there?
I don't
The
know,
T?
man. Like I
Belch.
said, man, that's with the
Belt.
accent.
Black belt.
I'm actually really excited.
It's a
you say
stressful
black
podcast.
belts?
No, I'd say belt.
We ready, Belt?
I'll
We'll
say
just
belch.
step back. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty.
All right, we
with
back
the
on?
headset.
We're on?
Good.
We're good.
I'm excited for
I'm
the
loud.
little cutscene.
Are we still
I'm
rolling?
loud,
The
yeah.
bloopers?
Yeah.
The one did the last time when he left that little cutscene.
You can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
And
let's
I
go.
got-
Let's go.
Yeah.
We're back on. Let's do this. All right.
So when
where
you-
does where does the Elch come from? Belch.
I have no idea, bro.
Belch.
I have no
What
idea.
letter is it? Is it the T? The T is the CH or what?
I have no idea because they have a difficult pronunciation. Instead of say T, they say chi. So the belch.
Oh, that's why. That's like the
That's-
Filipinos.
I
The
think that's
Filipinos
what it
don't
is.
can't say P. Can't say F.
How did we
Philippines.
wind up here?
I don't know. We're wasting time, dude. We're wasting time. Waiting on you, man.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Here. Sorry,
right.
guys. We had a little
Pick
technical
up with that
Speaking of
listener. What's the
headsets.
next listener question? I think that's
Okay.
where we were
So,
just about to.
Actually, what I wanted to get into was you guys were talking about intermittent fasting. You lost, how much did you lose from
A
you started
lot.
jiu-jitsu?
I was 215 pounds when I started jiu-jitsu, and I'm 178 now.
Okay. And were you doing intermittent
I-
fasting?
I still-
Intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting and jiu-jitsu, and I saw like a huge difference in not just in weight but in health in general. Like
Yeah.
Energy too, right?
Yes, energy too. Like you function better while you're fasting. You know,
Okay.
like you're more focused and you have more energy.
Is it something that you do as well?
My
I know
wife-
you guys were talking about it in a...
Yeah, my wife and I both do it.
Okay.
And we usually have a window between we don't start eating until around noon, and then we stop eating at around 8. At my job, we eat a little bit earlier, so I'm more of a 11 to 7 instead of 12 to 8.
I got you.
So I do 16-8. You say you do 24?
Yeah, I'm a little advanced because I've been doing it for a while. So I do the.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, my
Say
bad.
it.
Perdona,
me.
man.
So I do the 24. 20 hours not eating and 4 hours with eating window.
Really?
Yeah.
So during this whole quarantine, I didn't gain.
Is
no
that
weight.
one meal and snacks, or is that
Oh, no,
multiple meals
I-
within those 4 hours?
I eat whatever I want.
How many?
And
two,
that's
couple chickens. Couple chickens.
no man. Trust me. I eat.
Two cups of rice.
In my eating window, I eat. What I like about it, it's basically like a lot of people do the Atkins or the low carb whatever.
Oh, the keto
The
diet.
keto diet. What I like about fasting, you don't have to cut the carbs.
Right.
You know, because you still can eat whatever you want.
So
It's
you
just
can eat
fast.
ice cream and junk food, is what you're saying,
Oh, yeah.
or don't eat that?
I eat whatever.
It's not good, but yeah, you can
it's,
actually.
It's not good, but it's not gonna make you.
So
gain.
you're taking care of the weight, but not necessarily like eating healthy.
You do no. I do it healthy. I'm just making a point that you don't have to cut the carbs
Okay.
if you're doing fasting. And the cool thing about it is it regulates your cholesterol, and your inflammation. It's actually very healthy for you.
Okay. We just heard that long.
Consult a doctor.
Yes, from you.
I apologize.
It's like, oh, this.
You don't agree with me?
Okay, when is it gonna be done?
I didn't mean to do that. I
let's
apologize,
give.
man. I'm in a different world.
I got some gifts for Junior.
Yay.
All right.
Yeah,
Because
it's a black belt. You got gifts.
Black belch.
well, I had
yeah.
stuff. For, okay,
The
so
belch, the black
this will
belch.
make sense. So number one, I had this hanging up in the
What do we
in
got?
the podcast studio. Right,
Look at
this was. If you watch the show, you've been seeing this, so you saw it hanging up
Nice.
there.
Very nice.
With the so this is
Nice, brother. I'm
this is
I'm wearing that next
women's
episode.
women's extra small
Oh,
There
hell.
we
for
go.
for Junior.
I'm cutting the sleeves off, and
I've been choked by that woman extra small.
Man, look at that.
So that was our
Whoa.
cool ranked rash guard. So the purple, brown, whatever.
Okay, nice.
The red is different colors in the other versions.
Look at
You can
these.
get those on at jiu-jitsudummies.shop.
Nice.
So that's our podcast store. So Junior, I don't know if you're going to fit in these. I bought these. This is a 36 waist.
too big, my friend.
And
That's me.
It's just really, really super tight. I don't think those fit either one of you guys, right?
I'm a 36.
Thank you.
36.
I got to ask the vets first, but then
I'm a vet.
it sounds like you.
One episode vet.
I don't think these would
Oh,
fit
I thought you meant
either,
like
right?
a veteran. I was like, I'm a veteran.
I just bought these. I don't even know what brand this is. What brand has this been so long
I don't
since I
know.
get them? I forget. Yeah. There's it's a kind of a popular brand. Look, it's kind of got like the BMW
It
style.
does,
of
yeah, that's why I like it.
Anyway, but it's got like the underwear inside.
Oh,
so which is really
it's
cool.
got the tantaras
They're
built
Noki
in.
shorts. The tantaras.
The built-in, yeah.
Those are Noki shorts. So I just they
Got it.
don't fit for me. My Puerto Rican ass is too big. Like literally my ass is too big for those.
What's up with this string here?
So those are gifts.
Figure that out.
So hold on. So I was doing unboxings for the. The BJJ box. So I would do the unboxing videos for those. So kind of got backed up with. So this is one of the T-shirts I got. I think this is June. This was April's box, I believe, and it came a little late, so my timing might be off. So I got this from them. It's not a box; it's a bag. So overall, I like the BJJ box. I did not like when I got this one though. When I'm like, oh hey, what's in there? Well, you send me some stickers and you send it like that. It's been like that since I got it. But then I smiled because I downloaded the JitzMoji app. So it's when I've texted you guys. Yeah, it's only for texting.
You went ham.
But you've got like these cool, jiu-jitsu related emojis. So I kind of thought that was cool. I'll pass that down. I'm just going to throw it at you.
All right.
So this is, again, I think this is April's box.
The cauliflower ear.
So they sent that. I got that. I got a little sore. Like, really? Because I do put the stickers up on the backdrop. And then I didn't do the unboxing. And then like a week later, or maybe 2 weeks later, and they had told us like something was missing. Look at that. The JitzMoji face mask.
Nice.
Kind of cool.
Just in time.
Right? The fist bump, JitzMoji. So then I stopped being a little girl about it, and I was like, I like this. This is cool. So here, you can pass it around.
Respect.
Right? I'm going to catch COVID. So in that same one, in the same box, Life Doesn't Stink, Stink Bug, Amber Sage Charcoal Deodorant. Mm-hmm. So you can pass that around. We can open these up. Hilo High-Low Gummies, pre-workout, energy, strength, endurance, red fish, so some gummies.
Nice. Why are you tossing at me, bro?
Just pass it around.
Here, is this? Are you in your window right now, bro?
So then we got, I don't know, let's see, MRM Nutrition.
Not bad.
Cordyceps CS4 strain endurance, vegan 60 vegan capsules. I'm sure that if I read this, it would tell me what those are.
That means tapioca. This is probably like pre-workout, man.
So we had those. So this was the little card they gave me that said, hey, the mask was going to be late. They always do. Let me see. You got the Red Bowie t-shirt, the JitzMoji mask, the sheet of stickers, and, the gummies. So they also, there's a VIP member exclusive from MRM Nutrition along with that. So if you go to mrmnutrition.com, you'd also get some type of membership for that. I didn't read that. Sorry, guys. So after this one, I was kind of like, maybe I'm going to cancel. I wasn't like that super excited about it. I was just like, again, I got this. And then the mask came later. I was just like, maybe it's time to stop. And then I got the next one, which again made me a little happier. I'm a little bitch when it comes to this stuff. We send out stuff from the podcast store. So if I'm going to send something to somebody, I want it. I want them to be happy when they open it.
That's the whole. That's the whole thing.
One.
The whole unboxing process is a thing, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was a little sore about the stickers, but then we had this T-shirt with
Smash Pass.
Right,
that's pretty cool.
Really
I like
cool.
That one.
I like this one, so then it made me happy again. So you guys can look at that one, and then I was like, oh shit, Tiger Bomb. I was like, all right, you guys got me now. All right, we're stepping it up.
I need this.
Give them a little bit of leeway because it's all during the quarantine. I'm sure they had trouble getting their product in. So again,
the scramble.
I didn't know they
Smash and Pass tea.
I didn't know there was a spray.
So.
Yeah, they got all different types of stuff. I've never had Tiger Bomb before, actually.
Oh my God,
my coaches have had it in the gym, but I've never used it. So I was happy when I saw that. I'm like, all right, really cool.
Put that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I did today?
Are you speaking from experience?
I put it on. I put it on my calf, and then I bit my nails.
You want to adjust?
No, I bit my nails.
Nice.
And I had Tiger Bomb under my nail.
Nice.
It was not nice.
All right, so Red Bowie CBD. Right. Again, Red Bowie t-shirt. This was the next one, Red Bowie CBD. So we got that. There's
I like this CBD better.
Mental preparation crash course for jiu-jitsu competitors. They put a lot of these in here where you can join and you get different memberships for stuff. So listen, I definitely appreciate it. I haven't jumped in on any of those yet, but I certainly can see the benefit for a tournament competitor. All right, so Tiger Bomb.
Orange.
There's also here a VIP member exclusive for the Red Bowie. I'm not really sure what that's going to do. There's you could probably look it up on their website and see what you get out of it. So I'm sorry, BJJ Box. I may not be doing you justice, but I guess this is another MRM nutrition. It's a nootropic. I hear that word a lot with Rogan.
Yeah.
I think these are kind of like
brain stimulant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Make you a little bit sharper. So I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer. Sorry I didn't do the normal unboxing videos, but let me get some of those gummies. How are those gummies? Did you eat the whole thing already?
No, I had one.
Where's the gummy? Let me try that.
All right.
Some of the other boxes have had like power bars and things like that.
Yeah.
But I haven't. Did you get one?
It wasn't
A
bad.
gummy? No, I haven't. I asked Mauricio.
You might
if
get
it
a
was
little
in his
tingling
window.
sensation like in 30 minutes, but we'll see.
30 minutes for what?
Energy
For it to
drink.
kick
What
in.
is it? Energy
There's
drink?
a pre-workout. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch some.
Yeah,
some
you should
TV
have taken it
after this.
before.
Yeah. Okay.
Tasty. It said fit. Why did it say
Not that
fish?
bad.
Red
Isn't
fish,
that fish?
like Swedish fish.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Well, it has a fish there, but it's not fish.
It's fish flavored. They can't. It's trademarking, man.
Fish flavored.
Fish flavored.
Fish flavored squares.
Decent,
Oh my
decent.
God.
So those. What else do I got? Do I got any other gifts? No, that's it.
Awesome, I appreciate it.
So those are your gifts. I'll get you guys some T-shirts and rash guards and things like that.
Cool beans.
Unfortunately, right now, it's taking a little bit of extra time for shipping.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on. Actually, printing, not the shipping, the printing. So we'll get you guys some stuff from the store. And what I don't use from the BJJ box, I've been giving to the Patreon winners. That's right. We do the 2 giveaways every month.
That's cool.
So when we do that,
I think Zodacon might have some giveaways.
I saw you did something.
Yeah, no, I got
guess not
something
him.
specific for the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies and Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Tactical.
Tell us more.
Well, hey, I haven't thought it out yet.
Oh, but you did a giveaway with
I have
something.
I have
custom
some engraved magazines.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, some 5.56
Did you do that
I saw
contest already?
that.
You gave it away?
No, I'm still waiting, man. Still need a few more names just to make
Okay.
it a good raffle.
Oh, you had like once you get 50 entries or something like
Exactly.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Go check it out on Instagram.
All right. So we talked about intermittent fasting. One of the things I wanted to do is, again, I feel like we're going to go into this second wave if we're. I guess some people
COVID.
some people are kind of saying like, well, this is the first wave. Like it didn't. Doesn't matter. There's a lot of COVID going around. One of the things you can do as a student is go onto your gym, their Google page, their Yelp, their Facebook, and leave them a review or recommendation. So highly if you want to help out your gym, that's one way. Yes, paying your membership fees, that's great. But for new people coming in, seeing those reviews and being able to get a sense of what that gym is like is a good thing. It's going to help out your gym. So leave a Google review, leave a 5-star review, go on Yelp, do the same. Facebook has changed their review section to something called just recommendations now. The old reviews are still there, but they're called recommendations. So just a little tip. And, for gym owners, if you want to do anything to kind of kick up your membership, even in this weird time, number one, be posting online to get something in front of maybe even like an offer for your old students. There are people that have just dropped off the mat or have kind of, we, I think, all take jiu-jitsu a lot more seriously than maybe that new white belt that was like just started and then COVID happened and they fell off the map.
Just going back.
Getting in front of them with an ad, you can upload an email list on Facebook and run an ad just to those emails. So only people with those emails will see the ad. There's lots of cool things you could do. Get on YouTube, search for videos, look for tips, but you should be getting in front of people who have either done jiu-jitsu at your place before. There's a way to get in front of those people that you already know like jiu-jitsu and would come back if you just kind of said the right thing or gave them the right message or special.
I just want to quote something I said to my staff this morning because we were having a meeting was getting ready for reopen, and I was telling we can only do so much to protect you. You have to use common sense. You are the last line of defense. You are the one that is gonna be get sick and take this back home. So you have to use common sense. We can only do so much. But
Well, didn't they just pass an ordinance that they're closing bars?
yes.
So, hey, right now, where are we? We're the 27th, so we're filming. You guys will see this probably in a week.
Couple
Hopefully
days,
less than
3,
that.
4 days.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the 27th of June, right? They're talking about closing bars. in
Mauricio
Florida.
invited me out for a beer, and then the next thing he sends me
Yes.
is that you can't
They
drink
closed
on
that.
premises.
Yeah, it's so if they serve food, they still serve alcohol.
Is that
Yeah.
your marketing tip, man. That's JJD Podcast Consulting, man. That's a great marketing tip. So make sure you check out that page because you're gonna put more stuff on there.
Yeah, at JJD Podcast Consulting. That is essentially the production company behind us and behind the new JitzKing Podcast. Yeah. So and hopefully a lot more. It was the original idea when we started doing the podcast. Is Bo and I had discussed. Well, man, if we could not only put out a successful podcast, but then help other people with theirs.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Love giving stuff away, giving away the information, giving away product. We just like to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's that's what the podcast consulting is, and you can check it out online. Awesome. We also actually have, and again, we didn't do this talk about this on purpose to say this, but we do have a Patreon package that is specific for somebody that wants to start their own podcast to get they can get some time with me and some time with Bo for me for the marketing side and Bo for the technical behind the scenes of production. Like, what should I do? What equipment should I buy? Or where should I advertise? Where should I start? How do I pick a name? Some people don't even know, okay, listen, you're going to pick a name, but make sure the .com is available or make sure that the social media sites are available, like things like that. But we by no means want to corner the market on Jiu-Jitsu podcast. So whether you want to do a Jiu-Jitsu podcast or talk about cooking or anything, we can absolutely help. We have a lot of insight. A lot of people that do podcasts don't have a production guy like Bo and don't have 12, 13 years of marketing behind them like I do. So we came at this as, me, a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner who just loves talking about Jiu-Jitsu. And then, hey, I also have this marketing background. I think maybe we have a different take on the way things are done. So there's a really cool Patreon package that gives you some time to talk to Bo. And so you can get us every single month. You can lock in some hours really and you can talk to us and consult. And we can tell you, hey, when you put out the podcast, this is what you did wrong or this is what you could do better. So there's a package there as well as being able to support the show. You can actually get some kind of behind the scenes.
We got Jiu-Jitsu Tactical coming out. Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Tactical as well. So, hey, watch us on there. And
I don't want to say that it's on the back burner, but it's definitely, it's on the radar, but we need to be able to go out and shoot and be in the public.
Quality, and, for the podcast, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a little bit more video content.
Yeah.
So, like short your segments, buddy dressing me, I don't know what it's called, but putting me in one of those dog biting bite suit.
Yeah, we got a bunch.
And
of cool
sticking his canine on me. That's what I want that to be about. And then how does that work into jiu-jitsu and talking about jiu-jitsu for law enforcement and some other things. So that's just a matter of us being able to people out there being a little bit more flexible and allowing us to come shoot. It's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So
let's work on that.
So that's going to happen. So we're going to do that. And then, again, shout out to JitzKings. That's a new podcast. Go ahead and start subscribing to their YouTube page now. Because as soon as we put out, we're going to film on July 11th, that video will go out, or that podcast. The first one, it'll take a week because you got to have a podcast for Apple and Google Play to approve. So you can't just, put it on and it's up the next day. So it's going to take a few days. So the first one will probably film on the 11th, and then it'll be available probably a week later.
Okay.
And then from there, once we have it, you have to kind of set up the accounts and upload the feed.
You're giving out all the secrets, man.
Yeah,
Save that stuff.
That's fine.
Save that secret.
And then we're going, that feed, I could put it everywhere else. Like we're on iHeartMusic. We're on Spotify. We're
getting that Spotify money?
On Podbeam. We're not getting enough Spotify money. Joe Rogan,
he doesn't earn that.
Hit me up. Let me know how you did it. So when we do that one, again, get on YouTube now, subscribe so that when we do put it out, you'll get that first alert, and then you'll be able to subscribe to the actual podcast. So we talked to Pedro Marinho. Am I saying it right?
Close enough.
He was he was crowned the 185 middleweight king on their last event. So we're going to have him on the show, and then we'll be able to discuss their next event, the upcoming events. Which right now, as long as COVID doesn't shut them down, which it doesn't look like it will at this point, their next event is on August 8th, and they're going to do it in Gracie Largo again. This last event, they were able to have, I think, 50 spectators on top of the
nice
the staff, beyond the people that are actually involved with the event, they can have 50 spectators.
Overhead.
Yeah. So we have another listener question. This young man is actually local. I think he's from RMBJJ up the road. here in Coral Springs. Does anybody know that? I've heard of them. I know a guy that trains over there. His name is Garth. So this question came on Instagram from YRN1_, and he does train at Coral Springs BJJ. They're at Coral Springs BJJ. So tell Garth I said what's up. So he says, who do you believe has the best leg locks in the game right now? You're so like they don't really watch a lot of the tournament stuff. I don't think you do. I'm getting more into it.
Yeah,
I know my answer without having to watch tournaments. But go ahead.
I mean, I'd honestly say it's coming out of New York for sure.
Yeah, definitely
as a group. But I mean, it's got to be between Gary Tonin and Gordon Ryan.
Absolutely.
I mean, just
agree 100%. I mean,
and they're teaching it all the time too. So it's like, could you imagine? You do it for a living, and you're shooting seminars, and you're training. Like they just do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's I agree with both of those. I would say if you had to put a first and a second, I think I'm probably going to say Gordon Ryan.
Yeah,
Tonin is starting to get into MMA, but that's kind of paused for him. He's not in the UFC, who is actually still doing events.
Yeah,
is he?
But you definitely got some 10th Planet guys out there. They got a really
absolutely.
They have creative entrances and really interesting ways of getting into a position, to reap the leg.
If you saw Gary Tonin fight last night, it fits into what we were talking about before with like the style, like finding your style. Everything he did was about he was going for that heel hook. He was going to get that heel hook, his entries, everything he did, his transition was all about that move. He went in knowing what he's going to get. Yes, if something else came up, he would take it, but it wound up being a heel hook. So, I mean, he's amazing. But again, if I had to put them first and second, I would say Gordon Ryan is definitely at the top of the heap.
Yeah.
And then you have Gary Tonin right behind him.
Right.
So Juan, thank you very much for that question. By the way, I'm going to be doing if you guys saw, I did the $500 gift card giveaway. So I'm really trying to get those out tomorrow, and that'll be Sunday. We're filming on a Saturday. That'll be Sunday. We'll try to get all of those out. And again, it was $500 in gift cards, so it's going to be $25 gift cards to the podcast store. So that was in celebration of us hitting 10,000 followers on Facebook, which we're now like 10.3 or something.
Nice.
But
I'm a medium. I'm a medium, by the way.
Yeah, I got you the extra small right there. You got the rash card already.
But medium, really.
So let's give another shout out before we get into some speed round stuff. So Flow and Roll, they're a huge supporter as well. At Flow _ the letter N, then _roll. So at Flow and Roll on Instagram, they sell really cool jiu-jitsu tees, and they gave us a 10% off coupon to announce on the show. So use JJD when you're checking out on the website, which you get some really cool rash cards and some cool designs. But go check out their Instagram. Again, it's at Flow and Roll, Flow _N _roll, and you can check out their really cool custom stuff. All right, so embroidery on belts, custom rash guards, your team, your sponsors, things like that.
Keychains.
So
also cool content.
Yeah.
It's just a good follow.
They're involved. They're involved with JitzKing, so they're a sponsor. So they're putting out a lot of kind of content from those. But he's involved with like some of the guys that are in the Kumite tomorrow. That they're cross grappling. So there's really some cool stuff there. So Junior, you got to go. You got to leave us again.
I got a boogie, bro.
We got to cut you out,
man.
Get the fuck out already.
Right.
No,
I'll wait for Bo.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Give me the thumbs up. I'm out.
No, you can skirt out. We got a couple other things that we'll go over, but we appreciate you coming out. I know we would have started a little early if it wasn't for our technical difficulties, but this was definitely definitely an odd one today. But appreciate you guys being patient and coming out. Definitely send me a picture of you in that rash guard. Let me know if it's too big for you.
Yep.
Jiu-Jitsu after continues.
Yeah, we're going to save that.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you going to be talking
about
him after he leaves?
Yes.
All the time. Yeah. All the time. That's all we do. We can really tell you guys how we feel about
Stay safe, man.
Stay
safe.
Take care, brother.
Nobody's coming.
All right, guys. Junior's out of the room. Thank you for coming out, brother. So I wanted to do the speed round with Mauricio, because you just did it last week.
Sure did.
There were a couple of questions. You know what? I wanted to ask Junior if his opinion of of washing. I know the answer is going to be no, but has he changed his opinion about washing his belt since COVID? So
conveniently, he's not here.
Yeah, he's in the other. He can hear me. I know he can. But so we'll ask you. We added a couple of questions, but one of the ones that you didn't answer was, what's your biggest weakness? What's the thing that you're always trying to work on to improve?
Definitely I feel like my hip game is it's not there, you know. And,
flexibility?
It's not, I am very flexible, but, I just think the muscles in my hips are not strong enough, if that's a thing. I've seen people like shooting the legs up so easily, and I just can't do it,
Yeah.
So this is something, I have to work on everything because I'm a very beginner in the sport still. But I think that's one of the things that
How long have you been training now?
3.5 years.
All right, you're not new.
Jiu-jitsu.
You're not new, but there's always something to learn. I think, I loved when they started doing the yoga on Saturday mornings.
Yes.
Because I was doing a couple of classes here and there at my gym, at LA Fitness. They, was doing those classes there. But, then COVID happened. It wasn't really going. Then I hurt my leg. So, but I would love to find a place that's going to complement. Now, with everything being online, I know there's like, what is it, Yoga for BJJ? Have you seen that guy?
No.
It's just, just look at it. Yoga for BJJ. He puts out videos on YouTube. He's got a channel. He's got the whole nine. And it's amazing stuff, from even like the way to like use your belt to stretch and the things that are going to complement your jiu-jitsu. So I would definitely suggest that. But the hip game, how old are you?
I'm 42. I'm
42?
I'm turning 42.
Oh, forget it. You got one foot in the grave.
Yeah.
But even for me, it's the stretching before and after that helps. I know that if I stretch after and then, a nice cold shower, I feel different in the morning, the day after training.
Yeah.
If I really pay attention to that. But, we all, I come home, I eat a late meal, I might have a beer, I don't stretch, I try to take a quick shower so I don't do a nice, really long, cold shower, and I feel that in the morning.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the only question that changed. But go ahead.
I think it's more like not exercising that specifically, that muscle, because, everybody does, the biceps, the legs and the push-ups. But we forget about, the jiu-jitsu is our core, so that's something that I have to improve, core strength.
Are you doing anything to improve it, though?
I am.
You know it.
I am.
Are you doing? What are you doing?
Dude.
I am. The normal squats and sit-ups.
You're gonna be doing those machines like in the gym, the abductors.
Oh,
for the
like
abductors?
abductor and like abductor.
Like the one you close your legs.
Yeah,
You know what really help you out, especially because your son, like you have a player at home.
He's turning 15 Monday, by the way.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
nice.
Woo.
But I feel like my abs hurt so bad when we do the passing the guard drill, and you're literally just like the quick one. You go,
because
you
you
go
feel
left.
it.
You
When
go
you're
right,
standing,
you go
you're saying
left.
you're standing.
Yeah,
and passing?
left, right, left, right, left, right.
Toriando.
Right?
Hey.
Yeah, the and then you go all the way around, and you grab the ankles. And
The
then
next
you,
day.
you
Oh,
do the
yeah,
invert.
okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm saying you do that for so Felipe's been really, really making us do a lot of drills now. Even on open mat. If you go on open mat, literally the first half an hour is you're drilling.
Okay.
And it's been really cool because it really sets
tough.
in the move. Yeah, and it's tough. Yeah.
He says that's how you pay for the open mat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like time to pay for the open mat.
Pay
for
for the
sure.
open mat, 30 minutes
But man,
drills.
if you want to work on your core, man, I'm telling you, you do those guard passing drills for 2 minutes and then 2 minutes, and then also when you're on top, that ain't easy. Even when the guy's giving it to you, it still isn't easy to mess
True.
around with the legs like that. Legs weigh a lot.
True, especially if you go with against that has a very strong legs.
Yeah.
I always have a hard time like passing his guard because he's a strong person.
Right, yeah.
And I feel like sometimes I have a hard time just to move the legs out of the way so I can pass.
Well, I kind of give people the false sense of security that they could just pass, because they almost always leave kind of the low leg, the outside leg
The trailing
behind.
leg.
And I just want the half guard.
Right.
I just want the half guard, and you can usually kind of catch it and then get him into. I'm looking for the lockdown for
Right.
the most part if I'm on the bottom or if I've pulled guard. So, but look, these are all things that we can improve on, and it goes back to I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Junior says it the best is the basics. The basics lead to all this stuff that we've talked about.
Yeah,
and all the things that we're having.
The foundation.
Yeah,
The bread and butter.
Foundation's a good word.
No matter what you're doing, these little things, and again, that old school versus new school. The old school way of doing it was drill, 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 and now kind of we're in a world where hey coach, I saw this move, or you don't even tell your coach for the most part. You just bring a new move to the gym and you try to work on it yourself.
Yeah, you pull me aside and.
Yeah, like that kid did to you. Well, let's do a little housekeeping. We're gonna wrap it up, and just want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Actually,
Thank
before
you for
I get
having
into
me
the
again.
housekeeping, you guys want to shout out anybody? I know you're not like you got sponsors, but you want to say hello to anybody?
I'll definitely shout out, Fight
go ahead.
Sports Coral
Yeah,
Springs for
there you
sure.
go.
Yeah,
They-
go Coral
they take-
Springs.
They take the time.
Amazing. I know you're wearing the shirt with
They
for
give,
the kids
it's
program.
the kids camp shirt.
There's a big difference between our gym and most gyms is because we have a husband and wife black belt team,
With
Felipe
their
and
son.
Sophia, and their son Kai.
Yeah.
They are an amazing team, and I mean, you're talking about how much more comfortable are you bringing your daughter there?
Dude.
Because there's a woman there that's helping teach.
These guys, and they check all the boxes too. So competitive, self-defense, right? And it's not just jiu-jitsu. They have, I mean, go to their Instagram. Their Instagram, they show you what they do with the kids. Like they had somebody in there teaching them about, neurons and brain
was
stuff
that
like
naming?
that.
Was that
that was, I
naming?
think
Yeah,
that was
that was
her.
right, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not winging it.
Yeah,
They're very
they know what they're doing.
They're very calculated. And
But again, the fact that there is a woman, a husband and wife team
Yep.
that's got to make somebody with a daughter
Yes.
more
Yes,
comfortable.
most definitely.
That too.
When you drop them off, there's a comfort in I didn't just drop my 6-year-old to 12-year-old in
Right.
with just a bunch of men.
Right.
We all.
Most
you have a
definitely.
son, but I'm sure you would understand.
I agree
as
100%.
men with
And they
daughters,
have-
you just don't. It's not a situation hell no, I'm not going to leave them with all these men and boys.
And the other two instructors are also females. You have two purple belts. You have Janet and you have Flo, and they're also great.
Yeah, and then they even for the teens, and we're turning this into an infomercial for Fight Sports.
Yeah, but
I mean they deserve the credit, and I know
do.
we not only love them, but they really deserve the credit. It's not only I forget, I lost my train of thought. The you said
What?
Janet and Flo. Look, again, there's a comfort in being able to drop them off. There's comfort in knowing that there are plenty of women. And then now they took it a step further and they started to break off on 2 days of the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, where all of the women, right, the 16 years and over, right, the adults essentially, right, at 16 they're kind of considered adults in jiu-jitsu. They broke them off and now they do an all women's class. We've cut the mat in half. The men are over here, the women are over here.
Right.
Although we do roll with our female counterparts.
Yep.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they broke it off, and you see that a lot of the younger girls who look to put a 16-year-old girl with a 40-year-old man is uncomfortable for that girl. It's going to be
and the weight difference.
Yeah, the
too,
weight difference. Just the there's a
skill
grown man.
difference.
He's stinky. He smells like an old man. Whatever
Right.
it is. And now those girls have a place to go as they transition from the kids program to the adults program.
Right.
So that was just kind of like the kicker that they've added that on to the back end of what they were already. What was a great school. When I take video or I share something from the school, I almost always get comments somewhere along the lines of like, holy shit, that's your gym.
Yeah.
Because I mean, number one, it's so big. There's this side with games and rooms for the kids
Yeah.
to do.
And it looks so
aftercare
nice,
program. Yeah, it just looks good. It looks good. It's huge. I mean, that's basically our school is basically like what, maybe 4 or 5
They put the mats.
storefronts.
They put the mats in the front too.
Yeah, they put mats onto
the gray
the other
ones.
side.
Yep. Dude, calculated. That's
Yeah.
the only word I got for it.
Yeah,
they thought it out.
Yeah, it's like 4. I guess if you include the other side, that's like 4 or 5 typical storefronts.
Well, there's
for at
3
least that shopping center. I mean, it's really
There's
big.
3 doors. There's 3 doors.
Right, there you go. So,
They leave
so
them
again,
locked, obviously,
shout
but-
out to our gym. Shout out to Felipe and Sofia
my shout out.
Amarante, who are awesome. We, and it really is like a family thing over
Yeah.
there too. I've been to
shout out-
parties with them and been to barbecues and watch fights and things like that. So it is more than just, they're just coaches.
It's not just a business. It's family, like you said.
Sure.
Yeah.
They treat you like family. You feel welcome. The first day I walk into that school, I feel like I got it. I got to stay here. This is the place to be.
When I've heard the craziness about stories of gyms, and look, my first gym was great. I don't really have anything bad to say about that. It was, it just had a lifespan. It just wasn't working for him. It didn't have the signups that he needed. But compared to the stories that I hear about other gyms and the politics, and this guy doesn't like that guy, and like Felipe addresses all that. Like, if there are two guys that don't like each other, they're not going to roll together. Right? You're going to keep them separate. I mean, I had a problem with somebody, and they kept us apart until we made nice months and months later.
Yeah.
You smile, you know who it is. We don't have to say anything. But,
I had a quarrel with somebody, and then we ended up working it out, talking. Yeah.
Okay. I think I knew who it was, and I was so surprised at the two of you. I'm like, these are like the two of the nicest guys in this freaking room. Yeah. And I think I saw, it's just like
it was a battle of nice.
I saw that. So okay, let's again, we're gonna wrap things up. But thank you again to Fight Back CBD. You can go to fightbackcbd.com and use code JJD to get 15% off your order. We haven't done this in a while. Where if for those of you that don't know, Fight Back isn't just the CBD. There is a purpose behind the brand, and it is to generate funding to help people who are recovering from mental health and substance use disorders. So there's always been more. Even the owner is very open that he had substance abuse issues in the past, and he did this as a way to, he needed to help with his pain, right? He needed to find something. He didn't like the other CBDs that were out there. And he started, for his own need, and it became this thing. And I know that he has big plans. He wants to open up a gym and he wants to help people. But, when you're supporting Fight Back, you're also supporting what he does to help other people, to recovering from health and substance abuse issues. So, again, big shout out. His name is Justin. Big shout out to Justin at Fight Back. So check out our podcast store. It's jiu-jitsudummies.shop. And you can get 10% off with code JJD. We have the rank rash guards like I gave to Junior. We actually just added some face shields, but because of printing, delays with printing, we just put out a 3-pack of black blank face masks just to get them out there. If people can't find face masks anywhere, you can go to our website and you can get that 3-pack. We will at some point maybe put a logo on it or something.
Support local businesses.
But I just wanted to get it out there because we have our gator face shields, which are the ones that go around the neck. You see landscapers with them. You can pull it up. We have those as well. Those we can print. Again, it's going to take more than the normal week to get it to you because we do everything print to order. So,
right.
You order, we're printing it. We're not inventorying everything. But you've also got backpack, coffee mugs, all that other stuff. Some of the non-t-shirt, like apparel items are going out a little bit more quickly. Anyone out there that wants to work with the show, sponsor, donate products for giveaways, please send me an email at info@jiu-jitsudummies.com, or you could find us at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies pretty much everywhere. All right, you can even go to the website and suggest a guest or, maybe something that you want us to talk about on the show. Again, send your questions. Anybody who sent us a question who we use today, we get 2 bottles of CBD from Justin. So 2 people will get a bottle of CBD and a $25 gift coupon to the store. If we use more than 2 questions, I think we used 3 today, somebody will get a $50 coupon code or coupon code or gift card to our podcast store.
That's a score.
Yes. So if you'd like to support the show, again, patreon.com/Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. If you are supporting us, it's like you're pledging, $5 a month, $10 a month. You're automatically entered to win one of 2 drawings. They're both at least $100 worth of Jiu-Jitsu swag, and I'm actually letting you choose whether you want a $100 coupon to the podcast store or a gi, which Flow and Roll is working on for us. So we've got a little backup there as well. But patrons who have won before and opted for the gi, they're going to be on their way soon. So we're also, if you submitted a question, if you were a listener who submitted a question we use on the show, you're automatically entered into those drawings as well. So you can be a patron or you can be somebody that's submitting questions. We love the support, so thank you very, very much. And we love the questions, so thank you guys. Current podcast patrons include Frank House, Liam Berg, Wolsey Rivera, whose question we also used on the show, so he's double dipping. We're going to get him out a coupon code as well. So again, you can do that. Boa Athletics, check them out on Instagram at BOA_athletics. We've also got podcast patrons Michael Pixley Jr., Jason Smiley, Eric Perkins, Britt Tover, James Fisher, CJ Carroll, Mission 22, Chuck Red Door out in Hawaii, and Roberto Santiago, who's here in South Florida. So, again, thank you to everybody for supporting us. We appreciate you. You can catch me on Instagram at Uncle Milty BJJ. Do you want to give out your Instagram? I put out your Instagram on the screen last time. I hope that was okay.
At MLJ Rico, RICO.
Okay. Mauricio didn't want to. But back in the day, you didn't want to put yours out there.
It's just my first and last name, Mauricio Matos.
What is it, like underscore or something, right?
No, Mauricio _MATOS.
Okay, there you go. I know you were a little skittish about putting it out the first time. Are you in the witness protection program?
Yeah, it's classified.
Because I'm going to put it on the screen if that's okay. We put it on the screen when we talk about it.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
Yeah. Join.
Good luck.
Talk to Junior. We'll be doing our first scholarship through the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Foundation. So that's going to happen probably by the end of July. We pushed it back again because we're going to do a scholarship and then all these gyms are closed. So kind of have to put it back.
Is it going to go to a vet, or do you guys already have a person?
Because we're working with WeDefy, we decided to just do it for kids.
I gotcha.
So it's going to be a child in need or just a deserving child, somebody who's doing something really cool out there in the world. Whether or not it's jiu-jitsu related, that doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
Just a good kid or somebody who could really use the help.
For sure.
So we'll be actually taking user or listener suggestions or nominations.
Okay.
So we're going to put those into a pool, and you guys will hopefully be part of us picking out, and the podcast patrons as well. It's something that we have as a benefit to them as well, to be involved with the show in that way.
That's really cool.
In voting on the on who's going to be the winner. So on Instagram, it's the JJD Foundation. On Twitter, it's the JJ Dummies FDN, and then you can check out our GoFundMe. It's GoFundMe.com / it's like you put the letter F, another / then Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. It's on the screen. It's in the podcast description, not on this screen, but on the screen on YouTube. Yeah. You guys will look at the screen going, where is it? It is.
Like, man, you queued that up.
No, I wish, right? So it will have it on the screen. It'll show across the bottom of the screen on YouTube, but you can check out the description of the podcast on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app. When you click over to the description, all this stuff is there. We'll be giving away the first one again, hopefully by the end of July, but that's still kind of like a question. So I know that's a lot, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking around and listening. So anything to add, guys? Anything you want to that we didn't touch on?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me again.
I appreciate it.
So
hopefully
good
you'll be
seeing
back
you again, man. Missed you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you in the gym.
You're always welcome. It's you tell me when, hey, I'm available. We usually shoot every other weekend. We did 2 in a row. You were here with us last week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The JitzKing will be their staff, their announcer, and I'm going to help them out. So we're going to do probably one shoot us, one shoot them.
Yep.
But appreciate you guys coming out, man.
Dude, that event was so fun. I still talk about it with friends. I can't wait till things go back full swing.
When we went down and
that was great, man. That JitzKing threw a really cool event.
You guys won every single gi.
Hey, man.
Were you there? You were there with us, right? That's
you know me.
That was so funny.
I did the math. They walked in, they had a tub. It had 3 tickets in it. And I'm like, how much for a ticket?
You didn't saw the faces that people are actually getting mad because every time they call a number, there goes Miguel. Then they call another number, there goes Milton. They call another number. It is just...
I felt my fault. I went up once. Did I go up once or twice? But then I felt so bad that I started giving... I gave my ticket to Janet. I gave one to Chris, who was with us. I felt really weird going
you
back
did?
up.
No, I just wanted to let you know that I did not feel weird.
Oh, no.
I loved it. I enjoyed it.
It felt like the fix was in. It was just I had my Jiu-Jitsu Dummy shirt on. They finished giving us a shout out on stage, and then here I am going to get all of the flow kimonos.
Good.
So
that was awesome.
And hey, look, and just, I probably didn't mention. Okay, yes, we're helping them with the production, but anybody, businesses, gyms, anybody that wants a shout out, we're going to do a lot of the same things that we're doing on the show. The format and the subject matter is going to be more about tournaments, and it's going to be different than what we talk about. But JitzKing. If you want to be involved with that show, it's just reach out to me as well. All the handles that I gave you, reach out. I'm answering that stuff. Let me know if you want to get involved. I'll get you out the information. And you know, we're going to have a screen like this with their logos and their people. So, you know, just hit us up. We'd love the support. They'd love the support. And with that name and what they have behind them, I think it's going to be a hit. So
there's not a lot of stuff out there about people talking about how a tournament works and like the ins and outs of a tournament. And now you're talking about, you know, the brass telling you
the gears behind it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Their announcer, Patrick Hamilton, he was on the show. He is amazing. I've actually just made the observation, and I told him, I said, I watched a whole bunch of, you know, Flow Grappling events, and I'm not going to name names, but some of them were decent, and some of the production and the announcers speaking when they, like, you're hearing the personal conversations when they cut away, like the production was just really bad.
Yeah.
And they weren't talking about jiu-jitsu in those places where, okay, between rounds you can talk about it. Patrick Hamilton, who does most of the commentating, along with, I forget his name, but his last name is Zapata. He is the owner of Gracie Largo, who I think has also come out and done them at other locations. They just happen to be doing these events in Gracie Largo, and he was also helping commentate. And then they had Jake Watson was also somebody he has his own podcast and was really amazing. All three of those guys, the commentating was incredible.
Right.
The wealth of knowledge and the way they spoke about this as active jiu-jitsu competitors. I know Patrick still competes. Jake competes. He was like, I've seen him on events where he's actually left the mat, gets changed, and he goes and commentates. He's amazing. These guys are going to be really talented. These are the guys that we're going to see,
That's cool,
commentating in the future. But Patrick is amazing. Again, if you go back and listen to, I think it was episode 21 where we had the two owners and Patrick on, who also does he's the Joe Silva.
Yeah,
he's the fight coordinator, right? He's the matchmaker. Would call him. He's the matchmaker, but he is amazing. So I'm really excited about just being in a room and talking jiu-jitsu and learning more about tournament jiu-jitsu, because I am new to that side of things, watching these younger guys compete.
It's fun.
But it's been fun. It's been amazing. Again, shout out to Flow Grappling, Flow Sports, the app. I love it. I
might take the plunge.
You should do it. You know, like when you open it up and you go to grappling the first time, the first thing is this like Flow Grappling 24/7, and I just looked at it and I'm like, this is going to be bad. My wife is not going to like this.
24/7.
It's 24. There's always something to watch, and there's all these events, and they have you can go back and look at all of this stuff. I watched Fight to Win last night, the 145. I watched it kind of from the middle to the end, and then I just put it on this morning. The replay was already available, and I put it on this morning and just kind of watched up to where and caught up. So again, amazing. So okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate you, Bo.
Thank you, Bo.
As always, Bo, you're
so
amazing.
much.
You're awesome. Thank you for helping out with the sound there. I'm sure you'll cut this together all nice. But thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate you guys. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.